What's going on, everybody? Welcome back if you're here before. I'm Nihil Mushroom. Today we're playing some Froculus on MTGO. This is modern if you're new to the channel. And I did go play a league the other day, and I went 2-3, and I wasn't in love with the list itself. There was some stuff I just disagreed with. It was just a list I ripped offline. It was pretty sweet, but I definitely wanted like some different stuff out of the sideboard, some different stuff out of the main board. So I don't know if that video is ever going to come out publicly or if it's going to be a patron-only video, but it'll probably be somewhere eventually. But I wanted to take another crack at this deck before I play it in my FNM tonight. I'm recording this on the 4th of October, which makes it a Friday. But let's go through the deck and just talk about some things that maybe are new to you, because this deck is like pretty fresh. Okay, this is a lot like the blue-black Murktide deck. As a matter of fact, we have the blue-black Frogtide deck. We have 4 frogs, 2 Murktides. We're shaving on Murktides. I'll go through and it'll make more sense why in a second. We're playing 4 Considers. It's a great cantrip. It fills the graveyard. That's very important. And it's instant speed. It's pretty good against Bowmasters in that way, where Preordain is just the best cantrip. Being a sorcery can be kind of a liability against Bowmaster decks. A Spell Pierce, I just been wanting to try like one Spell Pierce. I think Spell Pierce is like sneakily really good right now. There's a lot of targets out of all the best decks in the format, including Boros Energy. So I want to give that a crack. 2 Spell Snare. Spell Snare is great. I wish I could fit a 3rd, but in this list I just couldn't find space for it. 4 Thought Scour. Thought Scour is sweet because it mills you for 2. You're almost always going to target yourself. And we were playing a new creature. It's the Oculus. We'll get to it in a moment, but Thought Scour enables this in a really big way. 4 Push is obvious. 4 Unearths. It just reanimates a creature with CMC 3 or less, which is every creature except for Murktide in this deck, and you can cycle it for 2, but you're usually not going to be doing that. Notably, you can get creatures out of your hand by pitching them to Psychic Frog, so it allows you to do things like play a 3-mana creature from your graveyard for 1 mana and hold up Counterspell to protect it. Speaking of Counterspell, we have 4 for Bowmasters, 4 of the Abhorrent Oculus. In case you're new to this card, it's been kind of on fire for the last week or so, but it is a 5/5 with flying for 3, which those stats are far above rate, but there is a downside. As an additional cost to cast it, you have to exile 6 from your graveyard. This deck's really good at filling its graveyard, so we can hardcast it, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, we manifest Dread, which is awesome, because it puts a card into the bin and gives us a body. We are going to be trying to Unearth this, I would say a little bit over half the time, but some games we will just hardcast it. We're playing 2 Force of Negation, 1 Harbinger of the Seas, which you can unearth, a Sink and a Stupor, and again, 2 Murktides. The mana base is pretty stock for the Dimir Murktide mana bases that I've been toying around with. The sideboard's mostly normal stuff, Spellbombs, Deluge, more Harbingers. Again, they're awesome with Unearth, Scolding, Consign, but we're also playing 3 Phyrexian Crusaders. People were trying this for a minute, and it's like, it's supposed to be really good against Boros, but if you cast it on turn 3 and that's your whole plan, they can just race it. If you can unearth this and do like other stuff the turn that you play this, it feels like it's going to be insane. So that's the deck. We're going to hop right into a Magic the Gathering Online League and just try it out. All right, we found our first opponent and we're on the play. You love to see it. All right, we've got a Swamp, and that's our only mana source, so we can stop looking at the hand. We're going to take a mulligan. This one has Watery Grave, Darkslick Island, so we can probably afford to pitch a land if we keep this. We've got Unearth, Spell Pierce, Spell Snare, Thought Scour. A lot of enabling cards, almost nothing to do with our game plan. I could see going to 5, but I am just going to keep this hand and hope that this Thought Scour buys us into some action. I wish we had a fetch so we could surveil, but the Thought Scour, like the chance that it puts a reasonable creature into the bin that we can reanimate on turn 2 is kind of high. So we're going to keep this and we'll just ship the basic island. Let's go. All right, Darkslick Shores. Oh wait, we got to go to our main phase. Darkslick Shores, go. No companion from the opponent, so this could be, ooh, that's a Sulundi Isle. Looks like we're playing against the Belcher deck potentially. All right, let's see if we can get things going in a hurry. Belcher is a deck that you really want to play aggressively against. What do we mill? Nothing, but we get a second Thought Scour, so we get a second crack at it. Take a draw for turn. It's a Psychic Frog. Well, we can probably just put that into play, right? I don't think they can kill us next turn. I mean, I think they actually might be able to kill us next turn with the correct hand, but I think it's pretty rare. Here's a Psychic Frog. Disrupting Shoal. You may exile blue card, mana value X, rather than pay its spell's mana cost. Sure. Psychic Frog's countered. We can unearth it next turn. Pass. Haven't seen Disrupting Shoal in a hot minute. That's a deep cut. Pay 3 for a Laboratory. Tap 2 for a Thunder Trap Trainer. Sure. Triggers. What do we get? Sink into Stupor. You got it, buddy. My turn? My turn. Take a draw. All right. Abhorrent Oculus. Not the worst. I would have loved to be able to discard this to the frog to unearth it, but that's just not where we're at. So we're going to tap for a black. We're going to cast Unearth. We're going to target our frog. How do we feel about this opponent? Flare of Denial. We will take an action. Spell Pierce the Flare of Denial. All right, can I have a frog? All right, sweet, go. Now we kind of like that Spell Pierce. Now that was, again, Spell Pierce was sweet there, but we really wanted to hold it so they couldn't just like wombo a Char Belcher on our face, because I do believe that's what we're playing against. But we'll see what happens. Sink into Stupor the frog, sure. All right, you done? Is it my turn? Untap, draw. Consider. Should we play frog or should we start to cantrip and try to make a land drop to keep up? That's kind of hard, right? I think ultimately they might not have the Belcher. I just want to get this frog back into play. Maybe they have another shoal. I could see it, but yeah, there's the frog. Go ahead. Please don't Belcher me. Now, Belcher, we at least have Consign as a potent piece of interaction versus this deck, but in the main board, we just don't have it. There's the Charbelcher. I think what's our out here? I don't think we have one. I guess we could sink into Stupor. We just drew an Otawara, but we can't actually use it. So we have to go to combat. Let's get in with the frog. We can pitch our entire hand and deal 6. That's not quite enough. So we'll just let it deal damage. Trigger the frog, draw a card. It's a Polluted Delta. Looks like we're on the outside looking in. I don't believe we have a single way to stop them. Let me just consult with my deck really quick. Yep, none of these cards quite do it, unfortunately, so I'm not going to waste time. They're going to Belcher us. That's going to be the game. If you don't understand how it works, it's pretty simple. All they do is they activate Belcher. There's no lands in their deck, so they're just going to deal damage equal to the size of their library to us. It'll be very easy win for them there. All right, we're going to bring in 3 Consign to Memories because it counters Belcher. We'll bring in a Mystical Dispute because Mystical Dispute's just quite good here. I think everything but Belcher is going to be a blue card. I don't want Crusader. I don't want Deluge. I don't think I want Nihil Spellbomb. It's probably just those 4 cards. Cards that I don't want, they're a mono blue deck, so my Harbinger is pretty poor. Then Fatal Push is also probably not the greatest card in my deck. I probably cut like 3 of those. I don't think they're playing very many creatures. I'm ready to be wrong about that, but I think this is how I want to sideboard. All right, opponent, I will play. Okay, this hand is all over the place. 2 basics, can't cast the 2 counterspells in my hand. Multiple Consigns and a Thought Scour, very slow, very bad. Bowmaster, Counterspell, Unearth, Oculus, 3 lands. I could see this being okay. Pitch the island, use the Mire to get a Surveil land, try to set up on Unearth. We got a Counterspell, yeah, we'll keep this one. We'll pitch the island, go to our main phase, play Bloodstained Mire, pass turn. Seagate, tapped, got it. All right, well, sometimes you get really lucky. Let's see if we can get really lucky. Undercity Sewers, Surveil, did not get lucky. Do I want that Force of Negation though? I don't think so. I don't have enough blue stuff to pitch to it. I want to cast this Oculus, I want to cast this Counterspell, so we'll move it to the graveyard. Go to our turn, take a draw. Consign to Memory is not bad. We'll play Darkslick Shores. Might make sense to just Bowmaster them now. I can't think of a 2-drop I'm going to want to Counterspell necessarily, but I Counterspell a Thunder Trap? I don't think so. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get the Bowmaster into play now. If they've got a Shoal, they've got a Shoal. Bowmaster, I don't want to play directly into Spell Snare for like no reason. Okay, it resolves. Ping you for damage. I got to get some type of a clock going. Pass to you. Lab, bolted in. Thunder Trap, sure, you've got a 1-2. Lucky for them, the Thunder Trap does not actually draw them a card, so this Bowmaster is kind of gridlocked now. They take a Flare of Denial, that's meaningful. All right, take a draw. Unearth, not great. I think I'm just going to pass the turn, hold my mana up, and cycle Unearth at the end step if they don't do anything. Watery Ruins. Another Thunder Trap trainer. This one, I think I'm interested in counterspelling. Hiya. Okay, my turn. Take a draw. Spell Snare, not the greatest. Same thing. We're going to keep passing the turn. See if they play spells into us so we can like fill our graveyard up. Get some use out of this Oculus, ideally. Land, sure. Pass to us. Okay, time to cycle this Unearth. Draw a second Bowmaster. That's a way through that Thunder Trap trainer. Take a draw for turn. An island. I'll take it. Let us... I think we have to push the advantage now. Let's attack with both Bowmaster and the Orc Army token. It'll give us a target for the Unearth. Hiya. You know, they could just hardcast Flare here, actually. No, I think I don't want to let them use their mana here on my turn. I'm just going to pass. Tap Watery Ruins. Tap for 4 for a Goblin Charbelcher. Let us go ahead and Consign to Memory and kick it twice because I don't have anything to do with the mana. I want 2 copies of it on the stack, please. Wait, no, I want... There we go. Replicate twice. No amount of free permission is going to get you through this, I don't think. Same targets. Same targets. No Belcher, please. No, they still have the Flare, so if they have Belcher number 2, it's just like lights out, but what can you do? All right, take a draw. Thought Scour. I guess I'll Thought Scour targeting myself. We get a Psychic Frog into the bin. That's not nothing. Let's go ahead and make an attempt to unearth the frog. That way, if they want to counter it with Thunder Trap, they have to sacrifice the Thunder Trap, and then the Bowmasters can get in. Okay, they've got nothing for it. Can I utilize Spell Snare to keep myself out of a weird spot here? I wonder. I don't think so. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to attack with both of these. They'll definitely put a block on the Bowmaster if I had to take a guess. Oh, nope, they don't do anything. Kind of weird. Oh, they might just like need it to flare, right? Well, with that in mind, I'm just going to let them take 2 and hold my mana up. Let them at least think I might have something meaningful. Snare doesn't look the greatest here though. Second Charbelcher. Boy, we need to find a Consign, huh? No, that's not a triggered ability. That's an activated ability. So I don't think there is a way out. We're gonna try some stuff though. End step, I will fetch. I am just gonna Bowmaster here. Let's grab an no, I can't grab Undercity Sewers if I want to Bowmaster. Let's grab an island. Cast the Bowmaster. Bink, dink. Trigger the Bowmaster. Hit them. My turn. Draw for turn. Murktide's cool. You're about a turn too late though, buddy. What's the max damage I can deal? Their best block is on the Orc Army, so that's 4, 5, 6, not even close to enough. I don't know if my Psychic Frog can draw me out of this. I guess I can draw Sink into Stupor, but then Flare of Denial is going to be problematic. I guess I just kind of have to get in, but I also need this frog to connect to even hope to win the game, so we will float it, and then we'll go to combat and attack with everything. Hiya. Them having second Belcher is pretty unlucky for us. We can usually beat the first one post-board, but the second one we have to be pretty lucky to have the interaction for it. We just really wanted to like take off of the ground a little bit faster this game. All right, they declare no blocks. I can't kill them this turn no matter what. I guess if I pitch, I guess this Oculus is never going to help me. Let's pitch everything but Murktide. I think we're just like 100% just dead. Because Sink into Stupor will not resolve if I draw it. If I draw Otawara, that's a little bit better. So let's pitch these things. And they take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 turn clock. Yeah, okay, let's give ourselves a chance to draw the Otawara. Trigger Frog, take a draw. That's a Spell Snare, not even close to enough. Well, now I'm just going to make sure our opponent can kill us. I'm just going off the assumption they absolutely can, though. So let's escape this Murktide. Not escape, just cast Delve it as an 8/8 and be a whole turn too slow. All right, opponent, you're up. Kill me. Now I'm going to let them actually kill me with the Belcher, so anyone who's never seen this can see it. But their deck, the spoiler is they don't play any lands. All right, Belcher resolves. Their deck is built correctly. Their deck's exiled. I go to 27. Okie dokie, round 1 loss, although I don't know if Belcher's supposed to be a good or bad matchup, but with all that permission, it's probably pretty tough. Let's get into round 2. All right, I'm on the draw for game 2. We've got an Oculus, 2 lands, double counterspell push, opponent mulligans, no companion revealed. I think I'm incentivized to keep this. This is a weird hand where I'm gonna like try to fairly Oculus, but I've got, instead of unearth it, you know, but I've got plenty of interaction here. So it would be even better on the play. But we do only have 2 lands, so this does give us some extra time to find the land drop for the Oculus, which seems pretty good. They also mulligan to 5. Hit yourself with Watery Grave. We're casting Tamiyo. Sure. Maybe we won't Surveil turn 1. Maybe we'll just knock that Tamiyo out. That seems probably right. Darkslick Shores. Do I play around Force or do I play around Spell Pierce? I think I would be fine with this getting forced, actually. I'm going to cast Fatal Push, targeting the Tamiyo. It's going to be pretty bad if they follow up with Frog, obviously, but that Tamiyo is going to start to grind them some serious card advantage very quickly, and they mold to 5, so they might not have it. Of course they do. All right, Frog resolves. Best top deck for me by a lot, my own Frog. Also a Fatal Push should be fine. All right, all these counter spells are sweet, if I could ever convert one now. All right, there's a Polluted Delta pass to you, opponent. You have a Frog. All right, they get busy with Frog. They're going up to 4. I don't have any actions for them. If they don't play anything we need to interact with, we're for sure going to grab a Surveil land and just try to find a way to deal with the Frog. Basim? Well, no, that's definitely not happening. Fetch for an island. Counterspell Basim. No thank you. My turn? My turn. Me take a draw. Bloodstained Mire. We'll play that. We really need to find some action. Also, we want to get this Oculus to the point where we can cast it. So Surveiling is going to put 2 more in the bin, unless we really want the thing on top. But if we can convert a counterspell, if they try to press their advantage somewhere, we can counterspell, fetch, put in the bin, and resolve the Oculus. I think that's pretty bad for them. Frog trigger, you draw. Tap 2. Okay, it looks like the thing we wanted to happen's happening. Counterspell. Oops, that doesn't work, huh? I need blue, not blue-black. Counterspell your Frog. End step. So we've got 4. We can make it 6 right now. Fetch, go grab an Undercity Sewers, trigger the Sewers. That's a cool card. It's better in my graveyard though. My turn, take a draw. I've also got, if they don't have Subtlety, this is really good for us because I have a Force of Negation to back up my Oculus. Please don't Subtlety me. Aki, the Aki way. They have Subtlety. Hate to see it. All right, well, I think we want to cast it again. So we're going to go blue, Thought Scour, target myself. Mill 3, then we're going to put it right back on. Can we afford to put this back on top? We're not going to be able to cast it right away. We're not going to be able to convert this counterspell or this force. We have to actually bottom this Oculus. That's awkward. Kind of hoping our opponent wouldn't have Subtlety. If we're going to 5, they probably had the best possible, which is fair. I mean, the Frogtide deck does do that. You mulligan super deep, but then like your card selection's really good. You just keep a plan. This does look like it's not actually Frogtide, it's the Basim Frog variant of the deck, which we did try for a little bit. I think it's like, okay, another Basim, sure. Bobble, trigger, draw a card. I think that's lights out for us unless we draw like, we have to draw something very good here. All right, me draw. Okay, I'm not going to continue to bash my head into this Frog. We'll go to game 2. All right, we're going super late-handed with the sideboard plan. I'm going to bring in 2 Scolding and 1 Mystical Dispute. Scolding's going to hit Basim, Frog, really most of their creatures, everything but Subtlety. They usually don't play Murktide. And the Tamiyo, which we're going to try to just kill the Tamiyo when it comes down. But that game, like if I had known they had Psychic Frog, I probably would have left the Tamiyo alone and pushed the Frog, because you draw cards much slower with Tamiyo. But they mold to 5, so I kind of played to the odds, to the best of my ability anyway. We're going to cut Harbinger. They're also just a blue-black deck. They have swamps. They'll be able to fetch around Harbinger if they need to. I'm not going to try to do a gotcha with Harbinger. Force of Negation is pretty bad, especially on the play, so I'm going to cut one. I want another one to protect Oculus, but I'm just not interested in like more than one of the effect in my deck. And I'll trim a Consider just because it's my worst cantrip, and I'm bringing in a bunch of other blue 1-drops. All right, this hand does not let me push any type of advantage. I do have like multiple points of interaction for everything they could possibly want to do, but I think being on the play, I just want to like put a threat into play. I'm looking for something with a frog, I think. This hand has Unearth Bowmaster, 3 lands with a Consider and a Counterspell. This I will keep. I think I'll keep this and pitch Watery Grave, planning to fetch and shock to Consider turn 1. I think that makes sense. All right, we pitch this. Let's go. We'll open up on a, it doesn't super matter. We'll do Bloodstained Mire since we're just planning to fetch and shock anyway. You up. Polluted Delta, yep. Me fetch, me shock, Watery Grave, and let's cast this Consider, targeting nothing because that's not how Consider works. All right, we'll pitch an Unearth, draw another Delta, sure, untap, draw for turn. Oculus? Man, if those cards were in another order, we'd be cooking this turn, but we'll just play Polluted Delta and pass the turn. They're probably, yeah, they fetch here. In some matchups, I'd Bowmaster while they have no mana, but since they can just frog us next turn, I'm not interested in just allowing that to resolve. I'll hold up Counterspell. Bowmaster at end step seems a little bit better. Tap for 2. They're just gonna, oh, they put Breeding Pool into play tap and they play Shadow Spear. Sure, you've got a Shadow Spear, my dude. Pass to me. I'm gonna come down with a Bowmaster, I think. Fetch. We'll just grab a basic island in this case. Tap for 2. Here's Bowmaster. Trigger the Bowmaster, put a point of damage on your face, and untap. And draw for turn. Undercity Sewers. Yeah, we probably just play that tapped, right? Let's go to combat. Attack with both of these. There's no way they're playing Harbinger. That's a tapped Breeding Pool. If I thought they might be playing Harbinger, I'd like play Polluted Delta just in case I need to fetch for a swamp, but I don't think we need to do that. Let's play an Undercity Sewers, check the top card. It's a Consider. I kind of like the card selection from Consider here. I'm going to leave it on top and then just pass. Basim, well, I would like to counterspell that, please. Oh, that's all they had. Okay, cool. My turn. Let's see here. We'll open on a Consider, put a Polluted Delta in the graveyard, draw Watery Grave. A little bit floody. We've still got an Undercity Sewers in our deck that we might want to use soonish. Let's go to combat and attack. I don't think we necessarily want to play around Subtlety here. We have them at a mana disadvantage. I think we want to abuse that to the best of our abilities. So let's pain this into play and see if they have a Subtlety. What do we want to leave in the bin? Probably just like and spell. All right, this one resolves. Pass to you, opponent. Trigger Abhorrent Oculus. Please give me a frog. I'll take a Bowmaster. That's almost as good. Or, you know, I guess I could bin the Bowmaster planning to unearth it. Yeah, I like that better. Saga? Sure. Emery, you got it, buddy. Let me see. Currently, they have nothing to target with Emery off of its activated ability, and they can't even lifelink the Emery, so that's pretty cool. We'll go to my turn. Take a draw. Otawara is like pretty good. If I Otawara the Emery, I can deal 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. That seems not that worth it. I'm just gonna play this Polluted Delta, go to combat, and I'm not even gonna expose my Bowmaster. I don't need to. I'm just gonna attack like this. Sure, kill Emery. Ooh, are they gonna? They're gonna Fatal Push the eyeball, which is kind of okay with me. Because we'll go to the second main. Now, I guess this is bad if they have Force of Negation, but so be it. I'm going to unearth my eyeball. All right, there it is. On past her. Trigger the eye, Manifest Dread. This time I will Manifest Dread and Orcish Bowmasters. All right, they concede. That makes sense to me. That was much less impressive than the first game. I'm not sure exactly what they kept on. Now that I know that they have as many colors of mana as they do with the Urza Saga, I'm more interested in Harbinger of the Seas than I was before. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring in all 3 Harbinger of the Seas. Not seeing the Saga game one kind of threw me off. I thought they were the Basim blue-black deck that guys like Spike and Raja played for a while. But they're playing Saga and they've got a green source in their deck, so I think Harbinger of the Seas is above rate. So we're gonna cut 2 Oculus. We're gonna leave 2 in, so we can leave the Murktides in, so that synergy's still there. We'll cut a Counterspell because we're on the draw. Let's go. All right, this hand has Scolding, Pierce, Frog, Counterspell, Bowmaster. If this isn't a sick Frog-Tide hand, I don't know what is. This kind of gets... It sucks if they go turn 1 Tamiya, which this deck does often. But we can't just mulligan to nothing just to find a Fatal Push, so we'll keep. All right, they play a Misty Rainforest, and did we dodge turn 1 Tamiya? Looks like it. That's pretty great for us. Let's grab a Misty Rainforest and pass. They fetch, sure. Sewers, you got it, buddy. Shadow Spear to the bin. Must have an Emery. Or just plan to get it back with Emery. I think Shadow Spear is like pretty good here if they have constructs. Polluted Delta, fetch. Are we going for a spell here? That would be great for me. Shock. Psychic Frog, great. Fetch. Don't even need to shock. I'll grab a basic island. And I will Stern Scolding your Psychic Frog. No thank you. I guess we can just play my Psychic Frog. Alternatively, I could wait another turn and play it with Spell Pierce in my hand. Alternatively, I did just draw Force of Negation. I think this Counterspell is probably pretty valuable though. Maybe. Kind of hard to tell. I think I do want to just wait. I'll play Misty and pass. Otawara, do we have another spell that we'd like to cast? They tap 2 for a Dolthy Voidwalker. I'm going to try to interact with that. Go get a Watery Grave, shock it into play. And what if you did not do that? Do you have a Spell Snare? No? Cool. My turn, on tap, draw, shock in Watery Grave. Let's try to get under them with this frog number 1. All right, you're up, opponent. Mox Amber is fine. 2 mana for an Emery is also fine. Mill 4, they get a Bauble, and they've got a Spear already, so we're gonna have to be mindful of that. Push the frog. I don't think, wait, can't use black for this. I think that's not fine. Do you have another Spell Pierce of your own? Okay, cool. They do have a mana with their Amber, so they could have like a second push, but I have Force of Negation. Plus pitch Frog, which seems fine. Unearth, that's interesting. Let's go Psychic Frog, exile 3 cards. We'll get land, plus, I guess, Scolding. I want to float this frog. I want to go to combat. I want to attack. And then before blockers, I would like to discard another Psychic Frog that I'm planning to Unearth. Or do I want to do a Bowmasters? Or do I want to do nothing? Because I've got a blue pitch for this Force of Negation. Yeah, let's do nothing at first. Let's just deal a damage and start to accrue some value. All right, draw a card. Thought Scour is pretty good. Now I kind of think I do want to just make that play because I can pitch cast the Thought Scour. Yeah, or pitch cast the Force with Thought Scour. Yeah, let's pitch Psychic Frog and let's tap for black and Unearth the Psychic Frog. Now I have 2 of them. How do you beat 2? Go ahead. Tamiyo's fine. Emery targeting Bauble is also fine. Casting Bauble is great with me. I assume they want to pass at their end step. I am just going to play a Bowmaster. All right, do you have a point of interaction for this Orcish Bowmaster? All right, it enters play. Trigger, target you. Push my Bowmaster. Do I want to protect Bowmaster here? Kind of feels like I do if one of their ways out is just draw a billion cards with Bauble. I'm going to try it. Target Fatal Push, pitch Thought Scour. You got something else for me? Spell Pierce, perhaps? All right, they just concede. Yeah, that's a pretty tough spot for them. Game 1 went really poorly, but like games 2 and 3, I think their deck just is like trying to do too much, and my deck does the same thing every time. If I had to take a guess as to why those last 2 games went so poorly, let's get into round 3. All right, found round 3. Amber on the play. Love to see it. Show me a cracked hand. Snare, Unearth, push, consider to land with a Bowmaster. Not the most exciting thing ever, but like from a utilitarian standpoint, I think it'll function into most matchups. We don't see a companion, so it's not energy, and I think this hand actually lines up pretty well against energy. But I think we're still slotted to keep it. It looks fine into Frog Mirrors as well. We've got multiple points of interaction. Our fail state is just like, we never find a threat, which can just happen. We'll open up on Island, actually. I'm just gonna consider here. Urza Saga? Sure. 1 Saga. Tap for colorless, play Springleaf Drum? Sure. Memnite? Why not? We're doing Affinity things. Ornithopter. Emery? That's about that. That sure is a turn 1. Kappa's in the bin. Yikes. All right, let's go to end step, see what we can wrangle together. Consider. Spell Snare to the graveyard. Draw a card. It's a Bowmaster. Untap, draw for turn. Otawara. We'll play Bloodstained Mire. Let's fetch. We're going to shock for a Polluted Delta. Or sorry, a Watery Grave. That'll give us black, so we can tap for black, and we can Fatal Push this Emery. I don't want all that smoke. And then pass to you. Yep, your Saga can make dudes. There's another land. I imagine they're just going to get busy for 1 here. What's their artifact count? 4? Man, those constructs are going to be pretty close to unbeatable. All right, they're going to pass to us. Makes sense on tap. And draw. Abhorrent Oculus. Very close to being able to cast it, but not quite. Let's play Otawara. I think we actually have to just pass. When they make their first construct, I guess we'll Bowmaster the Memnite after they've tapped out. Make them a little bit smaller. Yeah, that resolves. Black, blue, Bowmaster. Trigger the Bowmaster, take out the 1/1. All right, go ahead. I think all they have to do here is get Shadow Spear, and that's pretty much lethal. All right, you got it. You Saga, you make a construct, you search, show me a Shadow Spear, I'll concede. It's a Soul Guide Lantern. I guess we'll play for a little bit longer then. That resolves. Combat, I'll just block with a 1/1 for sure. Is it better to block with Bowmaster and try to get a black source so I can Bowmaster plus Unearth to take out the Ornithopter? I could see that being a thing. No, I think I just want to play, like if I draw Thought Scour and can get like, or if I draw Frog. No, I guess if I've only got 1 black source, so, because if I had 2 black sources and I could draw Frog, I could go Frog, pitch, Oculus, reanimate it. But they've got a Soul Guide Lantern? Yeah, no, we just block with the token. Damage. Looks like they don't have a second land drop. Maybe they do. They just haven't played it yet. All right, they do. It's a Razortide Bridge. Okay, pass to me. Me go. Those things are massive. Push is helpful. Why don't we just real quick do that right now? Cast Fatal Push Construct token, and then I guess we can just pass here. We'll cycle Unearth on their end step. Portable Hole. Sure. He's gone. See you, buddy. Another Saga. Okay, we are not going to beat the second Saga with the way our deck's constructed. All right, that is the fastest. I don't know if there's a faster opener for Affinity. So I will take that loss. We want Consign to Memory, quite good against them. Harbinger of the Seas, I have to imagine, is great. Same with Mystical Dispute. Toxic Deluge, probably. Everything else, meh. What do we want to take out? Okay, here's what I decided. We want 3 Consign to Memory. It's good against Saga. It's good against a lot of their colorless spells. Specifically, Consign to Memory is just a way to fight on the level of Saga, because a lot of their spells are unfortunately blue. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to make a quick swap. I'm going to bring in 2 Deluge and 2 Consigns. 2 Consigns, 2 Harbingers. It's just I need it against Saga at the end of the day, so I've got one in the main. We're bringing in Dispute. Dispute counters everything in the deck. And then Toxic, because they are just unfortunately going to a wide, and sometimes you need to pay 8 life to live. 2 Force of Negations are coming out. They're just kind of clunky in the matchup. Abhorrent Oculus, I don't really love trimming them, but I'm trimming them to bring in the Harbingers, and they do have access to Spellbomb. So I don't want to ever, like, invest mana into a Murktide just to get it bounced. That sounds horrible. And we're just trimming a 1-of Consider as well. All right, we've got Consign into Psychic Frog. Yeah, we're keeping this. We've also got a Deluge in case things get out of hand, which is great. They mull to 6. Now, Affinity mulligan's pretty deep usually. 5's a little low though, but they do have this thing where they need a critical mass in order for their game plan to pop off. So that game 1/7, a lot of people see Affinity do that and go, I have to play Affinity. This deck seems insane. They take it to their FNM and like draw their hand and just like, why didn't that happen for me? And it's because it's not that common for the deck to pop off that aggressively. If we're gonna Consign to Memory anything, it's usually going to be Saga's second mode. That said, I want to play Frog on 2, so maybe I just need to shock in this Watery Grave and let them take their turn. That way, if they open on Saga, I can consign that mana making trigger, so they can't go like Springleaf Drum into a bunch of 0 mana creatures. All right, there's the Saga. We're going to go for it. Tap for blue, consign, cast. You don't make mana. What now? Sure, Memnite. Pass into me, untap, and take a draw. All right, here's a Swamp. Here is my Psychic Frog. All right, go. Your Sagas can now make constructs, but you just lack the mana to do so. Springleaf Drum, sure. Combat can't be good for you. Okay, pass to me, great. Draw for turn. Now, I'm just gonna attack here, because if they just block with their Memnite, and I don't have to use a resource to kill it, that sounds just as good as drawing a card, because they have a Springleaf Drum. So we're just going into combat. Attack. Looks like they're not blocking. We will just pitch a Toxic Deluge to the Frog. Damage, take 2, I draw Thought Scour, great. Let's see if this Bowmaster resolves first, because if it does, they can't make mana with that Memnite. Bowboy? Trigger the Bowboy, take out the Memnite. That's a dead Memnite. Now we play Undercity Sewers and get a Surveil going. Harbinger? Let's put that into the bin, because we have the Unearth pass. All right, they probably need to get like a creature to be able to use their Springleaf Drum here, right? No, they tried to tap it for mana, but they can't. I really value having the Bowmaster in play right now because they're an 8-cast deck. They usually play Thought Cast and Thought Monitor, so anytime they want to cast one of those, the Bowmaster's just going to do some serious work. Tap for 3, what's it going to be? Thought Monitor? Great. Trigger the Orcish Bowmaster. I'm just going to shoot down the Thought Monitor. No Thought Monitor for you. That's all you got? Sweet. Untap. Draw for turn. Wow, that's an Oculus. That's got to be better than my Harbinger, right? All right, let's go. Discard. Abhorrent Oculus. Make the Frog bigger. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Take 7 because my Orc army is huge now. Trigger the Frog. Draw a card. All right, go to main phase, tap for black, cast Unearth, target my Oculus. All right, dude, that's all I got for you. You're up. This game should pretty much just be over. Their mulligan was a little bit rough for them. I guess I'll put a Thought on Unearth face down. It really doesn't matter here. Bauble, sure. Emery, why not? Flip 4, sure. What do we got? Portable Hole is the only notable thing. They can use Lava Spur to give Emery haste, but then they can't, what's the word for it? They can't make the colored mana. I guess they can go Darksteel, Lava Spur on Emery. Yep, and then use the Springleaf Drum to tap Memnite to make the white for Portable Hole and take out the Frog. Unbeknownst to them, I will consign the Portable Holes, enter the battlefield, trigger, and then they will just be very dead, but that's fine. Wait, do I need to? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Nope, that just resolves it. I'm fine with it. Yeah, they see it. All right, go to game 3. All right, on the draw, Counterspell is actually going to be quite a bit worse. The tempo disadvantage is going to be like, we're going to feel it. Also, I just realized that Spell Snare is not supposed to be in my deck at all. They barely got any 2-drops. So cards we want on the draw, Spellbomb, their graveyard plan's a lot better. We'll bring in a Consign, and there's nothing we really want more than the Counterspell. I guess Consider could be good, but I guess we'll just leave like and Counterspell in our deck. We'll play 3. And then we'll just bring in 2 Spellbombs and a Consign, since we're going to be playing more defensively this game. Okay, we've got Darkslick, Island, plus Nihil Spellbomb, Psychic Frog, Consign, Consider, Fatal Push. I don't think any hand we have beats their best openers on the draw, but this can tango with all of their mid-range hands, so we'll keep. They mull to 6, so card advantage, here we come. Now, if they open on Saga, what we're going to do is play Darkslick Shores and then counter the Saga's ability to make constructs. because on the play, that's their most potent effect against me. It looks like they just play a tapped Razortide Bridge. So now we're going to play Nihil Spellbomb because we don't care about the Saga making mana on turn 2. We still just want to fight the other half of it. So we'll play Darkslick, add blue. Let's play Nihil Spellbomb. Pass. There's the Saga. Ornithopter, sure. They're just gonna cast a Portable Hole? I mean, yeah. And then I'm just gonna crack my Spellbomb now to just put a card in my graveyard. Okay, is that all you got? Now, normally I'd extend a Frog here, but we have no way around this Saga, so we really need to stop it from popping off. So we'll play an island, and then we're just going to consign the trigger in their upkeep. I'm not going to kick it because I want to, or I'm not going to replicate it because I want to consider as well. And if they have like Metallic Rebuke, so be it. Then they're not making a construct this turn. We're even in a world where if they like play a Springleaf Drum, I might even push their Ornithopter first. Razortide Bridge, some type of a Thought Cast effect. All right, draw 2, that's fine. You're up at 4. Passing to me, is it consider time? I kind of want to land, a black land, so I can like do things with this frog and have Fatal Push. This counterspell is not good. We'll bin that. Draw an Unearth. Now I just want a black land. Off the top, please. Not quite. No luck. I mean, I guess, yeah, we're just going to drop the frog here. If I had another land and it was blue, I'd Thought Scour first to see if, like, I randomly draw a black land or if I put, like, another Oculus in the bin, but we just don't have that, so we'll pass. We'll let them take a search. Don't forget to float your mana, buddy. Soul Guide Lantern, sure. Take out my whatever, that's fine. Counterspell, it looks like. All gone. Darksteel Citadel, they've got 4 in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a million artifacts and other thought monitoring. That's a little bit scary. Draw 2. A Bowmaster would have been just insane this game, obviously. Emery, sure. Ornithopter, Mishra's Bauble, and another Ornithopter in the bin for artifacts. No combat makes sense, so they pass to us. Untap and draw. Darkslick Shores. I will take a land drop for the turn. I think we need to go to combat. I'm just never going to Fatal Push an Ornithopter, I don't think. Maybe I should have waited to see if I could draw a fetch so I can take out the Emery. That's interesting, right? Let's go to combat. I think they'll just chump with Ornithopter. Is that okay? If I Thought Scour myself, I will go to 6 and bin, but then I can't Oculus because I won't have the lands too. I can pitch Oculus and try to Unearth it. That'll let them crack their Soul Guide Lantern, and then I'm just in a really weird spot. Alternatively, I can just get busy, let them block with Ornithopter. Let's do that. Go to combat, attack with the Psychic Frog. All right, they're blocking. I will discard a card. I do want to kill the Ornithopter so they don't just have like a million flying blockers. So I will pitch... Is there any way I can sneak Oculus into play? Not really. I'd have to pitch 3 cards and then they'll just crack the Soul Guide Lantern and that'll be tough. Meaning this Oculus is just poor. So I'm actually just going to discard the Oculus. All right, kill your 2 guy, your 2 power dude. Go to the main phase. Do I need to make them pop their Soul Guide Lantern now so they can't like... start to loop Mishra's Bauble? If I don't make them pop it now, they'll just draw a card, right? So let's go for the Unearth now to keep them off of just drawing a million cards. Why don't you pop that lantern, buddy? You got it. It's all gone. Unearth hits the bin. If my opponent would ever let it. And then we go blue, black. I'm going to play a second frog. And you're up. We really need to deal with this Emery. That's the most problematic thing in play. There's a Saga. Yeah, it's going south now. I play against Affinity a lot locally, and this is just like kind of a tough matchup for our deck. They do so much all at once and we don't have a ton of interactive points for it. Emery for Soul Guide, sure. Play the Soul Guide, take out the Unearth. It's gone. You want to draw a card? Sure. Another Memnite? Yeah, we don't super care about the Memnites. They will just block forever, I guess, but it could be worse. I wonder if they're supposed to get in with that Thought Monitor. No? Okay, cool. Migo. Take a draw. Double push. Interesting. Let's open up on Thought Scouring myself. Just see what we hit. We found a Bowmaster. That is interesting. Let's go combat and get in with both frogs. And before blockers, I think I'll actually float this one. So the only way they can block it is with Thought Monitor. Okay, do your thing. Take a block off Thought Monitor, sure. And a block off Memnite, pop them both. All right, end combat, go to main phase. Now I suppose I should just... Let's see, if they target Thought Monitor, it'll cost them, it's a 7 drop, so 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It'll cost them 2. Am I supposed to Bowmaster them now or in their upkeep? Big question in my head. I think it's supposed to be in their upkeep, so let's pass. And then in their upkeep, go blue, go black, Bowmaster. Trigger the Bowmaster, take out the Memnite, and then go ahead. Saga can make dudes now. Another Citadel. I wonder what the 3 cards in their hand are. They have 4, 5, so it still costs them 2 to Thought Monitor. If they do that, the Orcish Bowmaster will just shoot down the Emery, to be honest. They could like pivot to going out of the Saga plan. They don't know I have 2 pushes in my hand, which is like really good into the Saga plan. They're going for the Thought Monitor. That's good. Tap a blue, tap a Citadel. Thought Monitor enters. Draw 2. Trigger my Orc Army. Let's take out the Emery. Play Springleaf, sure. Now you're gonna what? Tap out to make a construct? I'm just gonna full send into that thing for sure. We're in a spot where like funnily, as long as things continue to go like okay-ish, we might be okay. Like we might be able to leverage our frogs here for a win. Because I think that they're interested in making constructs, which is a-okay with me. Looks like they're going another route here. They're just gonna make a construct now. Well, that seems poor. On tap. Draw. Let's cast this and deal with the construct. Okay, go to combat. Full send. Take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trigger 2 frogs, draw 1 card, draw 2 cards. Main phase 2, I do just want to cast all the spells in my hand, so we'll play Otawara. I guess we should have waited because we're going to Thought Scour targeting ourselves and draw another push. Okay, we'll consider targeting ourselves, or targeting no one. We'll put that in the graveyard. We'll draw Unearth. Is there anything we can Unearth for value? Nope. So we're just going to pass. All right, Saga triggers. You're going to make a dude? All right, they make a dude. We're not going to go to kill it yet because they might try to haste it or lifelink it. And when they use their mana to do that, that's when we want to pull our trigger. All right, there's Lava Spur Boots. They play a land. They tap it. They want to spur that, I assume. All right, let's go for a Fatal Push. Tap it for mana, sure. All right, luckily we had enough pushes to get through that second Urza Saga, so that's good. They do have 3 mana now. They go Emery, sure. Emery triggers. They flip a bunch of stuff. Now they'll be able to Spur Boots the Emery and cast something off that, but that was always going to be true. Yep. Spur Boots onto Emery. You now have access to 1 mana, so they can easily Thought Monitor, though that would be horrible for them. They tap their Emery to Thought Monitor, trigger the Orcish Bowmaster, take out one of their Thought Monitors, just full send into them. No way that's good. What else could they get? Ornithopter as a blocker could be good. Soul Guide just to like start to take out my graveyard and loop it could be okay. But if they want to draw a card off of it, my Bowmaster is going to have some words. Also, just as blockers, their creatures are all miserable. Everything but the Orcish Bowmaster itself, they're all great attackers. Looks like they're going to play the Thought Monitor anyway. So my Orc army is about to get enormous. That resolves. All right, you draw 2, trigger. I'm going to take out the one that doesn't have Summoning Sickness, I guess. See ya. All right, now you have an blocker. My turn. Misty? Nothing to do with that. I think I'm going to pitch it. Go to combat, send in with everything but the Bowmaster. The big token? Sure, let's grow this. I don't want that. Take 4. Draw Counterspell, draw Consign to Memory. That's awesome. Oh, I shouldn't have pitched the Misty. I could have actually, that was a bit of a punt. I could have Fatal Pushed the Emery there. Have to pay attention to that, I suppose. Although, I don't know what their Emery's actually doing right now, so maybe it's not a big deal. We will pass the turn. Darksteel Citadel, sure. Tap Portable Hole. Somehow they're improvising, maybe Kappa Cannoneer, which is like, okay, I'm gonna counterspell it. And if you have interaction for that, I'm just gonna attack through it. All right, blue, counterspell, Kappa. Rebuke, you got it. You have a Kappa Cannoneer. It's currently not big enough to contend with my Orc army. Or I guess it trades with it at the moment. Yeah, we're not gonna consign that trigger right now. What is that? Ornithopter? Okay, I see what they're doing. Target Ornithopter with Emery. Okay, I think we just win here. They're going for a play. So what we're gonna do is, I think we're just gonna consign the Ornithopter. I was thinking about letting it resolve, then consigning the Kappa Cannoneer trigger, pushing the Ornithopter, but that's just not, I don't need to do that. All right, my turn. Are you just straight up dead? If I pitch all the cards in my hand from frogs, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Plus Bowmasters is 8 and they trade with the Orc army. So that's not just straight up lethal. So let's cast some spells to see what we can find. Thought Scour myself. Nothing super meaningful. We get a sink into Stupor into the bin. We're floating both frogs for sure. Although I guess we just don't need to float both frogs. If they want to buy block a frog, we're just gonna sack everything. Do we attack in with Bowmasters in order to trigger Revolt so we can Fatal Push Emery? Maybe. Let's just go to combat and see what they do. I'm shipping them with every single card. Attack with all. Good luck. All right, they block my Orc army token. This is 5 damage, meaning that both frogs are lethal whenever I want them to be, so maybe I shouldn't just give up my resources. Sounds right. Yep, sure. Trigger 2 frogs, draw Thought Scour, draw Bowmaster. All right, go to main 2. Let's Thought Scour myself. Unearth. We got a Toxic Deluge. I guess we could just like Deluge for 2, play land, Deluge for 2. Is that stupid? Probably. Yeah, I just don't care if they do stuff with Emery. I'm just gonna pass. Emery targeting Kappa Cannoneer? Yeah, I just do not care. It's good with me. 1 for a Thought Monitor. Wanna just die real quick? Bowmaster. Unless you have like Metallic Rebuke, you just concede to this, right? Yeah, they concede. Okay, I thought I was gonna lose that game, but towards the end there, the frogs just kind of like took the game over by themselves, because having 2 frogs is twice as good as having 1. 2-1, yeah, let's get into round number 4. All right, round 4, found an opponent, and we are on the draw. How's this hand look? 2 lands. One's an Undercity Sewers, which is always kind of underwhelming. But we've got Snare. They don't have a companion, so maybe the Snare's not that good. We've got Snare, double Counterspell, push Orcish Bow. We've got some flexibility being on the draw. They mold to 6. We're gonna keep. All right, you're up, opponent. Verdant, do nothing. I'm not sure what I need to Spell Snare, but I'm just not gonna unless I draw an on-tap land, which I did, of course. So I guess we'll just put that into play, just in case we need to snare. And pass. Go to 19, sure. Little Raucous Theater. Please don't be Hollowed One. I hate that I see Hollowed One in every league. Raucous always makes me feel like I'm playing against Hollowed One. All right, take a draw. Verdant. No fetch. Okay, good to know. Will I fetch? I could get Bowmastered. I'm just gonna leave this fetch in play. Take a draw step, draw Bloodstained Mire, play it, pass the turn. It's almost like there was never an Undercity Sewers in my hand. Fetch, sure. Tapped Mortuary. What is Jund? What is Jund doing? Is this a Tarmogoyf? Is this just Jund? All right, cool. Verdant Catacombs. Surely you have to do something now. Nothing? Okay, we'll grab an Undercity Sewer now, I suppose. All right, fetch. Undercity Sewers. Trigger the sewer. Do I want an Unearth right now? Nope. Put it into the graveyard. Untap. Draw for turn. Consider, great. Play a Bloodstained Mire. Pass to you, dude. My hand says I have time. Verdant Catacombs. Fetch. Is it time to finally do something? Inquisition of Kozilek. You can see my hand. Take Snare? Sure. If they take Snare, I'm not going to Bowmaster, because them taking Snare tells me that what they'd like to do is have me Bowmaster, they Bowmaster, kill my Bowmaster, and I can't snare them back. So what will happen instead is I'm going to fetch for an island here, and I'm going to cast Consider. This could prompt a Bowmaster, and then I can in response Bowmaster. This Murktide can stay right where it's at. I'm not going to fetch. We'll just go to my turn. We'll take a draw. Psychic Frog's also fine. Here's an Undercity Sewers. Are we ever going to spend all of our mana? Becomes a big question in my head. The answer is maybe. So it might make sense to fetch and shock here, so I will. That way, if I like the card on top, I can actually leave it there. Watery Grave, shock, surveil, Unearth. Do we want this Unearth? All of their removal is going to be damage based. I actually think in a weird twist of fate. No, I don't want this. If I had like access to an Oculus, I would. But I think I'm just going to like be very patient now and croc rock them with Psychic Frog plus Murktide. I don't know what their deck's supposed to do in that spot without like shoot the Sheriff plus Fatal Push, and even then they basically go to Hellbent after that interaction is said and done. Pretty good for me. Fetch, sure. If they go Bowmaster, we let it resolve and just continue with the game. Now if they Blood Moon me, I'm going to be like Slackjaw. Yeah, Bowmaster resolves, I'll take one. I have just zero interest in interacting with this thing. I'm about to make the game about something much bigger than a couple of 1/1s. I'll even take the 2 and go to 12. Yep, Den of the Bugbear. That's a modern playable Magic the Gathering card. Attack for 2. Do nothing. Cool, go to unstep. Here's my frog. Not my frog, but my Bowmaster. Trigger the Bowmaster, kill your Bowmaster. My turn, my turn. Take a draw. It's a Force of Negation. That seems fine. Let's go with a blue and a black. Here's a Psychic Frog. And then I think we'll just protect this Psychic Frog. I like just holding up infinite permission, because next turn I can just cast the Murktide Regent and still have Counterspell up. I've got Pitch Cast Force, so we don't need to do anything. We'll just pass. Lightning Bolt my frog. Probably not, right? Discard Fatal Push. I don't think I need this anymore. And then discard Force of Negation. You can bolt. Okay, continue. Running 6. Yeah, I don't care about that. Ping my Bowmaster. I also don't care about that. Tarmogoyf. Do I care about that? It's a 4/5? No, I don't. You have a 4/5. Are we done? End step. Do nothing. Untap. Draw for turn. Another counterspell that's hilarious. Let's cast the Murktide. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for max size, and then we're going to jump the frog. So we'll exile Unearth plus 2 lands to make the Murktide in 9/9. Then we'll go to combat, and we'll just take out this Renin 6 so it can't knock off our 1/1 blocker. We'll still get the card draw, so that's good. All right, take a draw. Fatal Push, great. That's it. They're just dead to lethal. For those of you who can't see it, I pitched 3 spells to the frog. So it becomes 6 power, then I exile all 3 to fly it, so the Murktide gets +6. So that's +3 to everything, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9 from the frog, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 from the Murktide Regent. AKA so much damage. They're just passing, great, my turn. Okay, so I can do this and hold 2 counterspells up, great. Activate Frog, discard Force. Activate Frog, discard Fatal Push. Activate Frog, discard one of my 3 counterspells. Fly the Frog, +3 to both my creatures, and they concede, they just see it. Okay, let's go to sideboard. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. They're a Jund deck. I think they have Sagas. I didn't see any of that game, but it's running 6 with Jund cards. Saga just slots into that deck. So we're gonna cut 2 Oculus in favor of 2 Harbinger of the Seas to bring the Harbinger count up to 3. We're going to bring in 2 Toxic Deluge. They can go kind of wide. On the draw, I think I want them. On the play, I'm just going to try to race them, but I could see Toxic being pretty important. And if all else fails, it pitches to the Frog. 2 Nihil Spellbombs. They're a deck full of Goyfs. They probably have Nether Goyf. They're doing Ren and 6 things, so the Spellbomb can like kind of hit him there. It's not the greatest. If it doesn't turn out to be that great in game 2 and we lose, we might side them out. We'll see. But we want to get out 2 Oculuses because of the Harbingers. A Consider, a Spell Pierce. The Spell Pierce is like meh. The Consider is like, I just want to like cut a little bit into their Bowmaster plan. And Force of Negation, I'm pretty sure is miserable. Okay, this hand is Undercity Sewers is my only mana source. With a bunch of cantrips, that's probably just bad, right? Yeah, mulligan. This one is double Harbinger of the Seas with the black fetch and Toxic. Do I keep this pitching a Harbinger and just try to play a game about Harbinger? Let's give it a shot. I've got 1, 2, 3 mana sources, which is how many I want. Toxic can pull me out of the aggressive hand. This might go south, we'll see. Pitch a Harbinger, let's go. Harbinger is obviously better on the play and much better if you can unearth it, but let's just get it Inquisitioned, I guess. It'll be fine. All right, Inquisition. Are you going to take my Harbinger? If they Inquisition my Harbinger, I can unearth it. So there it goes. All right, let's draw an Unearth. Off the top, please. Oh, so close. Nothing to do with my mana, so I will happily just Surveil. Orcish Bowmasters. I don't think I want a second one right now. We'll just pass. Verdant Kitty Cats. Pass. Verdant Catacombs do nothing. Seems not ideal, right? Take a draw step. Darkslick Shores. Am I interested in surveilling right now? No, I can wait. We'll go long. We'll just play the Darkslick Shores and pass. If they Bowmaster, we'll Bowmaster back. I imagine they just go for a Surveil land though. Yep. Undercity Mortuary. Or Underground Mortuary, sorry. Wooded Foothills. Or Footed Woodhills if you like. Sure, continuing to do nothing, so me too, I guess. Take a draw, it's a Counterspell, that's fine here. We'll play a Bloodstained Mire, just planning to Surveil on their end step, Counterspell any meaningful spell they put on the stack. Raucous Theater, sure. Pass to me, I'm gonna fetch. At the end step, show me a good one. Sewers number 2, 1 Unearth, please. Not quite, we'll get rid of that. Take a draw. There's a Psychic Frog, that's pretty good. Do we jam here? Or do we just keep, like, doing nothing for the foreseeable future? I think based on their play pattern, they have like multiple pushes. I'm just gonna pass and keep like holding my cards. As far as draw deck matchups go, like my opponent doesn't want to draw go. My deck is actually capable of playing a functioning draw go game, so we're just going to not play our spells because I'm sniffing that they have a bunch of interaction. Inquisition, yeah, that's fine. Probably take the Frog. Our deck's full of Unearth, so I just don't hate my Frogs getting Inquisitioned. There it goes. No Froggy. Blood Crypt tap, sure. Pass to me. Great. Me turn. Take draw. Another Bowmaster. I think we'll play this as a... We're going to bolt it in, actually, because I want this Delta to fetch for a swamp no matter what. And I want to just have, like, as much blue as possible right now. I guess I didn't need to, but I just didn't want to, like, crack my Polluted Delta just yet. But now that I have 2 Bowmasters, I might start to press them on my opponent. Alright, so the Harbinger's getting worse, because now they can get Forest and they have Swamp. So we'll probably ignore the fact there's a Harbinger in there, and if we Unearth, we get the Frog. But now we're going to go Bowmaster, because I want to start the party. Trigger the Bowmaster, face. My turn. Take a draw, it's a Fatal Push, great. I'm going to go to combat and attack. Hiya. 2. Great. I'm surprised they didn't have a Bowmaster of their own. Go. Wow, I definitely would have cast that before. They could have gotten a better exchange out of it. Do I want to Counterspell this? I think I just might. I don't know what other spells they have that I'm freaked out about. Just Counterspell. Tarmogoyf, sure. Pass to me. I think I'll just Fatal Push the Goyf. Get a Swamp. Tap for black, Fatal Push, cast, Goyf. My turn. Take a draw. Murktide, hi buddy. Go to combat, attack with both. No blocks, go to 14. Here comes Murktide. I can't think of a single reason I wouldn't want to cast this. Spell. I guess it's going to be a 5/5 and that's kind of small, but still, they could just Thought Seize it and Unearth doesn't work there, so I guess the Oculus is another good reason not to do it. As a matter of fact, let's overpay a little bit to leave some cards in my graveyard. There we go. All right, Murky Boy. It's a 5/5, go. Now if they deal with Murktide and Bowmaster, I've got 6, so I can just play the Oculus if I draw it. Pick your poison. Sack a creature with flying? Yeah, sure. Happens. Nihil Spellbomb? Sure. Can't stop ya. Bolt Bowmaster? Yep, you've got 1 in hand. I think I'm just going to play another Bowmaster and press my advantage here. Crack Spellbomb to draw. Bowmaster. Trigger the Bowmaster. Hit you. Take 1. We draw a card? You kind of have to, right? Alright, Bowmaster, target you. Now what? Do you draw Goyf? Stomping Ground's not that good. Pass to me. Alright, you're on a 3-turn clock. Gas? That's hilarious. The opposite of gas. Just breaks. Attack for 4. And pass to you. Looks like they're just gonna pass back. Interesting. Draw an island, go to combat. No reason to not full send. And you're at 4. Okay, go ahead, dude. Spellbomb resolves. You're gonna bomb me again, paying the black to take a damage. All right, Bowmaster, I choose you. Okay, that's it. They conceded. Yeah, that deck's not good, and if it was, it would have a bad matchup to our deck. So we're 3-1. Raw profit from the league. That's sweet. And we only have 1 round, so let's get into round 5. All right, found opponent number 5, Bloodhunter. They're on the play. Rats. Wish that was me. All right, this opener looks like Dookie because we don't have a single mana source. That's a really easy mulligan. This one's got 3 mana sources, Pierce, Double Bowmaster, Snare, Sink. No companion revealed. Kind of feels like I'm just supposed to pitch the Sink into Stupor and call it good. So I will. Good luck, opponent. Opponent also mulligans to 6. That's a Hedge Maze. Hedge Maze, which usually tells me I'm playing against Living End. This hand isn't particularly good against Living End, but it's also not miserable. Bowmasters can be helpful in this matchup, that's for sure. I will take opening up on Surveil. Go. Forest Cycling Generous Ent, you got it, buddy. Second Hedge Maze, sure. Subtlety to the bin, you got it. Pass to me. All right, let's go for a little bit of a Surveil. I will put Psychic Frog into my... Actually, I'm going to put it into my graveyard to set up for if Living End resolves. On tap, because I'm not going to hardcast it here, because then they can just Living End and then I'm dead. Here's a Darkslick Shores, pass to you. Cycle Street Wraith is good. I'm not going to Bowmaster in response because we just get blown out by Living End. If they have Commandeer, this Spell Pierce doesn't even work anyway, but we got to do what we can. So they just play a Forest, pass to us. We have to be mindful of Endurance, so we're not just going to attack him at this Bowmaster, but we will cast it. Cycle Curator, yeah, they're just going to draw a billion cards. They don't even have the Endurance, or if they did, they don't want to cast it. Great, Bowmaster enters, Bowmaster triggers, Bowmaster domes. Me go. On tap and draw. Let's go to combat. They can't endure Endurance anymore, so let's just get busy for 2. And then in our main phase, we'll shock and Watery Grave. We're not going to do anything, because if they do have like Commandeer or something, and they want to take control of Spell Pierce, well, I guess they could do that anyway. Like, they can't Force of Negation, and they can't Spell Pierce, so I guess it doesn't really do anything. But we do have Bowmaster, Thought Scour at unstep, or consider Thought Scour Snare, but Snare's dead in this matchup because they can't play 2 drops because of the way their deck works. So they just played their 4th mana and they're passing, which tells me they're holding up like Subtlety. I'm going to put a Bowmaster into play. They want to tap out for Subtlety, that is okay with me. All right, there's Subtlety. So what I'm going to do is with the Subtlety on the stack, I'm going to tap for... Do I even want to redraw this Bowmaster? I don't think so. Let's just tap for blue and cast Thought Scour, targeting myself. Lose Bowmaster, lose Thought Scour, draw Thought Scour. Okay, I am just going to pitch this Bowmaster, I think. Yeah, bottom it. Me go! That 3/3 sure is in the way. We found an Unearth. Let's Unearth. Get my frog back. Force of Negation the Unearth with 2 in hand. Deal. I'm not going to fight back on it. Pass to you, opponent. Now, the nightmare here is they go land, Cascade, and can pay for Spell Pierce. That would be nightmarish. They attack for 3. I guess technically they win this race. Go to unstep. All right, me, Thought Scour, target me. I get a push. Okay, that'll be good if I find a fetch land because I can deal with the Subtlety there. That is... Endurance is fine. There's nothing meaningful in our graveyard we want to do anyway, so it gets shuffled. Then we tap for blue and cast Consider. Abhorrent Oculus to the graveyard. Can't cast that yet. And then my turn. Draw... an island. So we are able to deal with Subtlety or Endurance. The Endurance is actually worse. It's got a higher toughness point. So I think we'll just fetch, get our second Undercity Sewers to Surveil. Thought Scour can stay on top, I guess. Yeah, we'll leave it on top. Then we will tap for black and Fatal Push Endurance. Go to combat and swing in. Hiya, take that. And go ahead, attack for 3, me take it, I can't stop you. Shardless Agent, Cascade Trigger resolves. All right, we will tap for blue and Spell Pierce Living End. You have a Shardless, we need a heater off the top here. Draw, Thought Scour. Well, we knew it was on the top, so look at me go. Thought Scour, target myself. We mill Oculus, Thought Scour, we draw Counterspell. So we are gonna hold our lands for potential frogs for a little bit here, because we're gonna have to start chumping things, which is not where we want to be. We probably won't even chump this first attack because, oh, they're gonna cycle. So that's quite good. Now we Bowmaster and we can target their face, I guess. Now we've got a blocker for the Shardless Agent and the Bowmaster token. Just pretty good. Just attack for 3. Yep, can't stop you. All right, the second Shardless sucks because the body's worse than the actual Living End that won't resolve. They are not casting Living End. Feels weird. Well, if they're not casting Living End, I guess I can counterspell the Shardless Agent. Okay. My turn. Bloodstained Mire, and I don't have any more Surveils left. Tough. Tough, 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 tough. Looks like we're just gonna play Bloodstained and never crack it until I find a Fatal Push. You're up, opponent. Drawing way too many lands here. It sucks. They get busy for 3. I have no choice but to take it. Forest Cycle, Generous Ent, sure. Temple Garden, are you shocking it? Nope. Pass to me. All right, one like Murktide, please. Thought Scour, I guess we're casting it. Blue, Thought Scour me. We get a swamp, we flip over nothing, where we technically have and turn. So we'll pass one more time, but this game is, this has been derpy and dirtly. We have done nothing. Ardent Plea. How many reachers do they have? Enough. We can't interact with this one. Concede. Let's go to game 2. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring in Nihil Spellbomb because obviously we're gonna bring in Consign because you can actually consign Cascade triggers, and Mystical Dispute because we know that they're gonna have ways to fight our permission for their living ends game 2. We're gonna cut Fatal Push. Normally I'd cut them all, but I don't have Shoot the Sheriff, so I need some way to beat an Endurance or a Subtlety when they're resolved. In the mid game, I'm gonna cut Harbinger. I can sometimes cut them off of Ardent Plea. They don't have white, but they can always Forest Cycle for green, so they're always casting Shardless. It's just like, it's a stopgap, and it's not good into Subtlety or Endurance on the ground. I'm cutting 2 in Unearths because most of these decks are playing like 4 Endurance, and it's just a liability. I still want access to the card in some spots when we're like top decking, but I really don't want to be doing it aggressively. And Thought Scour, same thing, they have Endurance, so I'd rather get the selection off the Consider. I'll be on the play. All right, let's go. We've got Mystical Dispute, push. Yeah, this is bad. Double push in my opener is like really bad in this matchup. This one's Frog, Aki, Snare. I should have taken the snares out of my deck. I forgot that they don't have targets. Luckily, I'm at 6 here and I can put this on the bottom of my library. All right, keep, pitch, snare. Done. Open on sewers. Hiya. What do we got up top? Oculus, you can go right into the bin. Go. It's funny, the game where I take out Unearths, I all of a sudden have a Frog Oculus hand, which is hilarious. All right, they surveil a Curator into their bin. Me take a draw. Me shock in a Watery Grave. And I'm just gonna play this Psychic Frog. You got a Subtlety, buddy? All right, go. Please don't dismember this thing. That would make me upset. Are you missing your land drop? Greedy. Okay, go to combat. Hiya. I'm not gonna pump yet. I'm gonna hold all my resources for the time being. Take a draw. A Bowmasters is fine. Play Polluted Delta. Go ahead. Found a land. Look at you go. I'm now going to Bowmaster at their end step, I think. Yeah, we don't need to fetch just yet. Black, blue, Bowmaster. Trigger the Bowmaster, put a point of damage on you. Still not gonna fetch. Well, I guess, no, I can just fetch. I don't know what they can use blue for, but I don't think I'm disputing anything. Let's just fetch. I'm gonna grab a Surveil land. Push can go to the graveyard. Me draw. Spellbomb's cool. Let's go to combat. Just ship in with everything. Hiya. Take 3. Trigger Frog. Draw a card. It's a Darkslick Shores. That's cool. I'm gonna tap for a blue, play Spellbomb. They're gonna bounce my Frog with Colossal. That's fine. Spellbomb comes into play? Question mark. All right, I'm gonna play my Psychic Frog back out. All right, they concede. Yeah, I don't know what their plan was there. Okay, I would like to say we did anything right that game, but our opponent just like fumbled the game. So let's go into game 3. Let's see here. This hand sucks. Yeah, consider Counterspell Unearth with 4 lands. That's just like not good. We're gonna go to 6. Let me see. Land, Frog. Land, Frog, push, consider, consign. I think we keep this and we push like, we pitch like a island. I think we want to keep our spells. Fatal Push can get us out of a bad spot because their endurances are better when they're on the play. Okay, go ahead, opponent. We see a Misty, they pass to us. I'm certainly just going to be surveilling. Draw a Misty of my own. I'll play it. I'll wait till turn 3 to play the Frog so I can consign a Cascade trigger if I need to. Hedge Maze, sure. Misty. Okay, me fetch. Me find my beautiful Undercity Sewers. Trigger. As much as I want the second one at some point, I don't want it now. Pitch it, pass. To me. Draw. Psychic Frog number 2. We'll use you eventually. Pass. Fetch, sure. Meticulous, sure. Bomb to the bin. Nope, they want it. Soporific Springs. Are we bolting it into play? Seems dangerous. They don't do that. Okay, they're passing to us. We are going to fetch now for... We're actually going to shock in Watery Grave. I care so much about blue sources in this matchup. And then we're just going to consider Island. I do not want another land right now, so we'll pitch that. Deck said you're going to have one anyway, buddy. Untap, draw. Please not another one. That's too many lands. Bowmaster is fine. I will consent to drawing Bowmaster. I think we'll put Delta in play. We're actually not going to push Frog yet. We're going to Bowmaster the second they try to cycle, or at the end of their turn, whichever comes first. To try to get some value out of this Bowmaster, because they don't have any creatures in their bin, so Living End is very bad right now. And we do notably have a 4 mana in play, so they can Subtlety this Bowmaster, but I've got to play for them if they do that. So let's go black, blue, Bowmaster. You want to cycle a bunch of stuff now? Nope, you're good. Dome you in the face. And then do we need to fetch now? Nope, we just don't. We'll untap. We'll draw. Spell Pierce is cool. Let's play Bloodstained Mire. Let's go to combat and attack with everything. Hiya. Are we doing it? Are we endurancing? There's the endurance. They're going to target me. I'm going to fetch. I'm going to grab an island. I probably should have done this after the thing resolved. As a matter of fact, I'll let that resolve so I at least have Fatal Push in the bin. And then I'll tap for black and I will Fatal Push the endurance. Go away, dude. All right, take 2. And then here's an interesting spot. If they have like a Commandeer or some way, or like a Mystical Dispute, and they go to Living End, my Spell Pierce looks miserable if I cast Frog. So maybe I'm supposed to, yeah, I think I'm gonna hold the line for a little bit longer. I'm gonna wait to cast the Frog. Just because the way they get out of this game is like, cycle, force through a Living End, and that's pretty tough for us. Okay, they passed to us. Looks like we're just gonna get busy with the Orc Army token in case they have a Subtlety, and then we'll cast the Frog. Or you know, we'll get busy with the Orcish Bowmaster too. That way if they have a Subtlety, they're super incentivized to cast it. Right. Go to, you know what, no, I still don't like that. No, the Bowmaster's still so good. All they have in the bin is an endurance. All right, take 1. Damage. Play this blue source, tap for blue and black, and play a Psychic Frog. Mystical Dispute. Okay, I will not pay the 3. Is it endurance time? Another endurance? Sure, that's fine. No attacks. That makes sense to me. They pass to us. We're just going to do Frog and pass unless we draw something crazy. We don't. We're actually going to hold that for the Frog. Go black, blue, Frog. Okay, you're up, opponent. I have no interest in attacking into a 3-4. Yeah, that's something. So going back, looking at this game 3, because I did miss taking out Spell Snares, I should have left all 4 pushes in because they have so many elementals now in this version since they've lost Grief. And then take out the Spell Snares. That would have been much better. All right, you pass to me, I take draw. I did just draw my Fatal Push, however, which is like really good. So we're gonna fetch. If I drew a Spell Snare there, I would have like rolled my eyes so hard, but we didn't. Swamp, Fatal Push, cast, target, endurance, pay black. Where are we at with this? How are we feeling? Hard cast Force? Do the Waker Waves thing? Sure. Is it a dead endurance or what? Got a pitch cast Force? Can this thing die or what? All right, cool. Combat. Here comes my team. Yeah, I'm gonna pitch Polluted Delta to this Frog. I'm all out of Fatal Pushes, so triggering Revolt isn't a thing anymore. Trigger the Frog, draw a card. It's a Murktide that is gonna be cool later. We'll pass. I feel pretty okay now. Looks like they're just passing back. Cool. Me go. Bloodstained Mire, sure. We're gonna ship in with everything but Bowmaster, because now a Subtlety would be silly. I don't want Subtlety to just like block my Orcish Bowmaster and then they can start cycling their cards. They're gonna Otawara Frog, that's fine. Frog's in my hand, take 1. How about a Frog? They fetch, or what do they want to do? Dispute this? In order to keep, oh, they're just gonna play a Hedge Maze, sure. All right, they put 1 card on top. They must love it. All right, go opponent. You're gonna do nothing again, so you must have another elemental. That's the only play that makes sense to me. All right, me take draw. Counterspell's phenomenal here. Go to combat. With a counterspell in my hand, I'm incentivized to swing out. All right, counterspell your endurance. Mystical Dispute, Spell Pierce. Okay, no endurance for you. Take a bunch of damage. Before damage, I'll discard this Bloodstained Mire that I don't need. Pump that Frog up. Take 4. I'll draw a Fatal Push. I thought I took more than that out of my deck. Oh, no, that was just the first one I drew there. Pass turn. I don't want to get blown out by a Living End, and the best way to not get blown out is to consign and kick it. Kick the Cascade trigger on some random Cascader. Cycle Curator? Yeah, I think that's game now. Their only out was to have Cascade twice, basically. Like, play Cascader, get it consigned, play second Cascader. That would have been an out, but now I don't know how they're supposed to win. All right, Ardent Plea resolves. Cascade trigger resolves. Oh, no. Oh, I messed up. I was supposed to counter the Cascade trigger. Also summons at my door. I'm dead. Pitch Murktide. I'm so mad. Someone ring my doorbell the same time. This was a 4-1. If I had played correctly, we would have countered the Ardent Plea's Cascade trigger and replicated it, so my opponent couldn't interact with it, and we would have just won the game. We will make an enormous Murktide here, but that is not meaningful, unfortunately. They just have too many reachers. I guess for what it's worth, we'll Fatal Push an Endurance. My turn. Take a draw. Yeah, we're just dead. The Endurances have reach. Okay, I'm calling that a 3-2. You just watched me in real time flub the ending. This deck's sweet. I look forward to playing more of it. I'm playing it at FNM tonight. I gotta get going because I got some music practice, and then I gotta get the decks ready because I'm lending some out. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I will see you next time.